Hello everyone, it's James Chamberlain, and today we're once again going to be playing some Vehicle Simulator. That is right guys, once again we are going to be in a real classic game here on this channel, one of the games that really started it all. To explain what I mean, here we are on Vehicle Simulator's page, and right up here it says Alpha 2.0 Vehicle Simulator. That is right guys, this game has re-entered alpha testing. If you've played Vehicle Simulator anytime within like the last 2 years, then you know that this game has just gotten worse and worse and worse, unfortunately. What we'll be discussing in today's video is gonna be talking a lot about the future of this game, a little bit about its past, and why I am so hyped for this, and why if you're a Vehicle Simulator player, you should be as well. Loading into Vehicle Simulator, one of my all-time favorite Roblox games, and a game that was a real classic on this channel back in the day. Right off the bat, as you can see here, we have an entirely new menu and menu sounds that are actually quite loud. Right here, I'm going to go ahead and pick Citizen, of course. I still know my stuff in Vehicle Simulator. And let's go ahead and check out this update for ourselves. We have a lot to verbally cover, a lot to talk about the history of this game and what is in store for it now that the game has died and may honestly be coming back to life in a greater form than ever before. So guys, first of all, this update isn't only a title change, but there are actually some physical changes in the game, including a couple new cars that I'm going to briefly go ahead and visit. First things first, let's take a look at these new cars. Apparently, they're just added directly into our inventory. So if we go over here to the shop, I'm not seeing anything, which means that they're just added into the inventory. Not seeing anything for aquatic, not seeing anything city-wise, and then not seeing anything air-wise. I wonder if they fixed the broomstick, though. Let's actually see. Oh, yes, guys. Already, I'm seeing a fix. The broomstick works once again. That is awesome, guys. The good old broomstick from the Halloween update works again. That's really cool. Anyway, that's kind of aside our subject. I just wanted to check that out really fast. Let's get into the meat and potatoes of the video and actually get into what I want to show you. So to begin with here, I'm just searching around. Already, I see a new car. This Guron 300ZX was not existing in the game last time I was here. I'm not hearing any type of a startup. We can try that again. Yeah, it doesn't sound like this car has much of a startup sound. But handling, it's definitely not the greatest. I can't say I like its turn radius. And it is pretty slippery, so if you do want to do drifting, this could be a good option for you. Speed-wise, it's not too bad either. With mods, I reckon this could be quite a great vehicle. It feels very rear-heavy when you're going around turns. I'll say that right now. Right here, I see an Acura Silvan Mx5. Again, this is definitely a new machine. Let's take a look at this. And this sounds like it may have a new driving sound. This car would appear to have a new startup sound, but the driving sound is the same as the Skyline, I believe, is the one that had this driving sound. I'm pretty sure it was one of those kind of Japanese cars that had it. But wow, I'm seeing like new stuff to the map and all sorts of crazy stuff. We do have a lot to cover right now. Downtown line, is there like a monorail system in the game? Wow, we definitely have our work cut out for us today, guys. We have a lot to check out. For this car, it again feels quite rear heavy, but still pretty peppy and quick. Steering isn't bad, though again, it does feel rear heavy. Next up, we have an Adioto Celestial GT4 rally vehicle, which sounds really neat. There really haven't been any rally cars in the game, and finally we've got one. When it comes to the looks here, this definitely looks like a rally vehicle, and if you lifted the suspension a little bit, put some better wheels and tires on it, it would definitely look even more like a rally beast. But let's hop in it and see how it sounds and drives. Again, seems to be the same recycled sound that the other car had. But this is quick. This is not slow. Wow, this thing moves out, even stock. I was not expecting this to be so quick. This car does not feel rear heavy at all. It feels very well balanced and very good. Out of these new cars so far, I would say this one is the best one in my opinion. Let's see if these rally lights work. Oh, yes, they do. Look at all that light. Dang, these actually work. That's cool. Like I said, guys, I'm not reviewing all of these vehicles in detail. This video is meant a lot more to talk about what we can expect to see in the future and why this update and these changes are so significant to Vehicle Simulator and the way the game stands now, as well as what we're going to be transitioning to as time goes on. Right here, I'm seeing the Adioto precedence. I'll be honest, this thing looks like a Toyota Prius. Top on in. Yep, it's making that kind of hybrid electrical sound right there. It sounds like a Prius. Inside, it kind of looks like a Prius. This thing is a Prius. It's really funny to think that I'm here in Vehicle Simulator just cruising around in my Prius. And wow, we are slow. We've barely got the power to make it up hills right now. This thing is a Prius. That's all there is to say. In terms of look, I actually would say that this looks better than a real Toyota Prius, in my opinion. I think this looks even nicer than a Prius, though that is just my opinion. Here we are now, scrolling down a little bit further to some of the older vehicles in the game, but I wouldn't be surprised if there is more stuff down here. Oh my gosh, wait, this looks really familiar, this mod car. Is this Leroy? This looks like Leroy from Cletus McFarlane's YouTube channel. Wow, guys, yeah, this is definitely Leroy over from Cletus McFarlane. Wow. Okay, yeah, this is Leroy for sure. Right off the bat, this thing is quick. I love the fire coming directly out of those turbos. No real exhaust setup on here. Just turbos directly from the motor that go right out the way it should be. This thing is quick. I won't say it's the most stable, to be honest. It does have quite a bit of body roll, but it is definitely really quick, especially for a stock vehicle. This is actually what I'm going to mod really fast, and I will be right back after I've maxed this. Dang, guys, it has really been a long time since I've had the thrill and excitement of modding a brand new car inside a Vehicle Simulator. But I've just got to share this experience with you guys. It is really fun to make cool looking vehicles in here. As you can see, I have deviated from the Leroy of Cletus McFarlane's channel just a little bit. I've done some orange here. I've always liked this kind of, I don't know what you call this shade of orange. This kind of, I would call it like a Cheetos orange, kind of. I've always liked it. Great looking build already, and we're not even done just yet. Modifications. Let's go to engine here. You guys know we're not messing around. We're going to get to ludicrous. If you guys have ever seen me play this game before, then you know how we do things. Racing brakes, heck yes. Nothing else. Rocket fuel, of course. No other way. Turbocharger. Let's go ahead and get the quad. Can't do anything other than that. Tires. Let's put the racing slicks on this one. Where are they? Unfortunately, it does seem like for some of these items, the preview image kind of covers up the actual text a little bit. But I know this game so well. I know what everything here says, and I know that these are already the racing tires. Very, very good. Tire profile looks fine. Transmission, we're going to go Pro Short for this bad boy. Awesome. Suspension, we're going to make that all of the racing stuff. We're not going to mess with any of this. Manual. I think this car would be really cool with manual, but I want to try with the automatic first. Welded diff. We don't need that. Air control. Yeah, we'll enable that. What else do we have? Ejector seat. Don't want that. Explosives. Of course I need explosives. Front attachments. RAM. Oh, the RAM kind of looks neat. I think I'm going to put the RAM on here. I actually kind of like the look of that. And then everything else we don't need. So there we go. Our car is now fully maxed. Let's back out of the garage. Alright, there we go. Unfortunately, our rims aren't working. Let's see if I can respawn. Another thing I've noticed, guys, F to get out of cars doesn't seem to work, especially after you get out of the garage. That just doesn't seem to work. So I'm going to respawn it. There we go. Awesome. Now you guys can see my carbon fiber rims in all of their glory. And dang, yeah, this thing is not slow. This thing really puts on the speed. This thing is cool. This is a really, really fun to drive car, guys. Let me say that right now. This thing is fun as heck to drive. It's casually cruising at 320. No big deal. Well, guys, this mod car is great. I definitely recommend the mod car, and I think I'll be using it for the rest of the video. Even stock, this thing is fun to drive. And I've got to be honest, not many Vehicle Simulator cars stock are particularly fun. but even stock, this one is. I haven't felt the fun and thrill of a new vehicle simulator update and new cars in so long. I am so glad to once again have those feelings inside of this game. It is really fun, and it's just a pleasure to get to come in here and check this stuff out and show it to you guys, as this game really was a major passion of mine back in the day. Overall, I am really impressed with this update. It seems to me that the game just seems to be a bit more stable. That broomstick was fixed, which is excellent. And I think as the game continues to update, we're going to see a lot of bug fixes, even more so than just feature updates to begin with here. And I'll be honest with you guys, we don't have very many unique or quirky bugs in the game. At this point, they're all just little annoying glitches. So I am so glad that they're finally working to fix them. Now that we've kind of checked out all of the new vehicles that I know of in the game, I want to get into the really important part of this video, and what I really created this video for, not only to check out the update, but to talk to you guys about what this game holds in its future and the amazing things that we can expect to see. This game is in Alpha 2.0, which means it is once again an alpha, but if you guys don't know game development terminology, there are stages pre-alpha, alpha, beta, all of which are different development stages, and all of which are quite early game stages where the game is still being created and tested on before being fully released to the general public. Now, as I mentioned earlier, Vehicle Simulator is quite an old game, and this game got out of its original alpha many years ago. And the fact that it is once again in alpha, this time Alpha 2.0, is just a major thing to consider. I think by putting this game into an Alpha 2.0 stage, the developers of Vehicle Simulator are making a massive statement and saying that yes, they do still care about the game, they still care about the game's community, and they want to bring it back better and stronger than ever. This makes me really happy because unfortunately with Vehicle Simulator, as I said, the game really has died out quite a bit and just isn't popular anymore. And when you think of going to a cool car game, this is no longer the go-to option. Games like Driving Simulator and things like that have all passed this up by far, and seeing Vehicle Simulator make a comeback and be one of the great driving games once again is something that I would absolutely love, and it would really make me happy. Since we are in alpha stage once again, and as I mentioned earlier, alpha is a very early stage of a game where the majority of features are not there or complete yet, that means that this game is probably going to have an absolutely gigantic overhaul. And I think since the game has had so many good and bad times, I think the developers have a lot of resources and information together as to what the fan base really wants to see if they're gonna come back to this game once again. Pretty much, guys, the moral of my story here is that Vehicle Simulator is around to stay, and it is around to grow once again. The developers clearly do not like to see this game dead, and they do still care about it, and they definitely have some absolutely major plans in store for this game. Otherwise, they would have not re-entered it back into its alpha phase once again. Alrighty, well, there you guys have it. That was a look at Vehicle Simulator's history and what's potentially to come. I am really hyped for the potential possibilities here for what could happen to Vehicle Simulator in the future. Vehicle Simulator's long been a classic here on the channel, and I absolutely love covering this game. It's one of my absolute favorites, and I hope that you guys could see that and enjoy it as well. I think at this point, we really need to be hopeful for the future of Vehicle Simulator and that the developers will stick with this plan to go ahead and get that game going once again. I know there's more we could have gone over in the video, such as actual physical game changes in the update, but I really didn't want to cover that, and I more so wanted to cover what we can expect to see in the future, as I think that's what matters most. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please leave a like and maybe even subscribe. Goodbye, everyone.